What's up, everybody? So this video is going to be on strategies, and I want to talk about different strategies and what are my thoughts on the word strategy. But before we do this, I need to play a video from this documentary called Floored, and I want you to really listen to this. So before I get into it.
It's a beautiful world, but it's a computer world. Do you enjoy computer life? I'll tell you what, I have never been happier. I hate email. I hate computers. But I don't really know how to respond to that. But I believe open outcry is the most honorable and the most efficient trade in the world. It's a new game.
To give context on what he's talking about open outcry. Open outcry is how stocks were traded before the computers came. They were traded on the trading floor. Multiple traders went out there. They were saying, give me 100 shares of Tesla. And that's how trading was done. And he was one of the best in that game. But the game changed. Keyword, as most people would say, the strategy changed. And this is why I don't like the word strategy. But let's keep going.
It's a new world. It's a crappy game. Well, I mean, if you were making a fortune trading electronically, it wouldn't be a crappy game. I wouldn't enjoy it. There's a misconception that the local trader can no longer compete with the black boxes or the algorithm guys. I can't. First of all, they gotta be right to market too. I've traded for 30 years, and I know markets. It's a different feel, okay? So it's not a feel. It's not. Let me propose this analogy. You're a musician, but you're trained in classical music. Okay. All of a sudden, does that mean you can't play jazz? That's arrhythmic, that's atonal? Sure you could. You prefer the classical music or whatever it is. The market is like a symphony. And as a musician, you have to be able to play the music that the conductor gives to you. And that's, I think, what the world has evolved to. Every market is valued by computers. Not cattle and not hogs. Okay, I stand corrected. You're right. But that's only a matter of time. But they have this program where they're bid for 100 every nickel. You hit them some miraculous way. The computer gods. I bought one. That's the scam.
And when you listen to him, right, you could tell that he's struggling to make the transition when the market changed, when the way trading changed. He no longer had an edge. And I want to talk about change, but I just want to wrap this up so you can hear this. And I'll go back a little bit.
I bought one. That's just canceled. Where did you go? I don't know. They have better programmers. The people that are making money are the programmers. I say the computer is the worst and the most evil thing of trading that I've ever seen. It's neutral. If I could convince you of anything after our discussion, I want you to get this idea of somehow this alternative trading modality is evil. And I can't win. I cannot beat the computer. And that's not the computer's fault. It's not that
And I look at him and I say, if we wanted to look at it, we'll say he had a strategy, right? But his strategy no longer worked. And what I noticed in my 11 years of trading is you could have a strategy. You could buy breakout patterns. You could end up doing momentum trading. You could do buying post-reverse splits. You could be buying strategy where you're buying stocks that have block volume and are moving. You could do all those things, but the strategy, it in certain markets, it won't work. It's forever changing, which is why like hedge funds reposition in certain markets, or very experienced or well-known research companies reposition in certain markets. You know, sometimes you could have a bear market and you buying support doesn't work anymore. Everything is just straight through. I really want to show you this too. Greg Reba, legendary trader.
Drugs and alcohol is a horrible stereotype of this business. I think that the high-strung type A people gravitate towards that, whether it's this industry or the sports industry or the film industry or, insurance. It doesn't matter. I mean, those people, I think, that's a functionality of the personality, not necessarily the industry.
They hit me at the America. All I know is when I first walk in, every mother dressing fucker has a Rolex on their hand. And it's something I'm like looking at it. And that's all I could think about when I first started trading. It really got more on their wrist than I got in my account. I thought it was just like, you know what, I could beat these guys. And I swear to God that 99% still don't get it. But when you win, you start betting less. Bet more. I mean, there's one roll that you can make $100,000 on. Let it ride. If you roll 3 6s in a row, let it ride. Let the winner's right. Money gets you super chance. I'm talking a fucking playmaker. Isn't that what every guy's fucking dream is? Right? And the thing about trading is just don't lose money. When you lose money, it changes everything. You can't keep on losing money and expect to live the same life. Somehow God or somehow some spiritual thing just whacks you. Or you want to buy something expensive because you've made it and you've made enough money to buy it. You start losing every day. You buy a house, can't make any money anymore. You go on an expensive vacation, but as soon as you say you're over the hump, I don't know.
How do you deal with that? How do you deal with
I didn't have to. Make money every day.
Did you make money every day?
A long time, yes.
What happened? You don't trade now. You trade now?
Cut.
And that's why I wanted to give perspective to anyone who's considering trading, understanding strategies, that strategies are forever changing. The biggest thing you could do for yourself when it comes to implementing, if you want to call it a strategy, is really just to implement time in the market and experience, knowing when to step away. I showed you Greg Reba. He was strung out on alcohol, drugs. This guy was a multi-million-dollar trader. He probably had the best strategy in the game. He was winning. He was on top. The market changed. Things changed. And he could no longer make money. And he told you straight up how it felt. They asked him, you still trade? He said, cut. He don't trade no more. The guy is drunk. I don't even know if he's alive. But he was one of the best in the industry. And from my experience in 11 years, person who's blown multiple accounts, who's had to dig deep inside to dig himself from the ruts of just the mental capacity of this game, of losing, right? Of knowing you got to pay bills and knowing you got to do certain things and knowing you got to... The best strategy to implement is to always trade with money you can afford to lose. Always don't trade with money that you need to pay the rent with. Don't cut losses aggressively. Know when to walk away. Have a max stop loss. Withdraw money. Those are the best strategies you can learn in early. If you learn that, you have a good trading career. But you also need to learn how to identify trends. You need to understand support and resistance. You need to be able to understand different markets. Every market is different under different presidencies. Every market is different under certain conditions. People who traded 2008 market was different. People who traded 9/11 market lost almost everything when planes hit the tower. People who traded Iraq, COVID, people made a lot of money during those markets too. But every market is different, and every market has a different behavior, has a different temperature, has a different feel. I was trading breakout trades a lot. I was making good money on that. Then one day breakouts didn't work. So what I'm saying is that the true strategy to this game is timing the market and understanding yourself as a trader, knowing your personality. If you know you got that gambler's personality, you're like, man, I'm gonna bet more, I'm gonna go all in, I'm gonna win. You gotta control that. If you got that paranoid trader mentality, I don't want to take profits. I'm selling, I'm cutting my loss, I'm doing everything. The paranoid trader will probably survive the game longer than the gambler, because the paranoid is always gonna cut. He's too afraid to lose money. He's gonna cut. He can cut every time, but he might miss out a lot of games too because he cuts early. So the biggest strategy that I can recommend to anybody is learn. This game is gonna teach you who you really are. This game is gonna teach you about yourself. You're gonna learn more about yourself than any other career can ever tell you. You're gonna go through every phase: anger, depression, denial, happiness, success, fear, greed, euphoria. You're gonna feel it. Some of the skills, like I said, are transferable. They are. But I gotta give you the reality of the game, and I gotta show you the truth about the game, which is why anybody who's in SRNA or who's at SRNA right now, or CRNA right now, is in school for SRNA, I don't recommend you to try to do this while you're in school. This is for people who want to learn the skill set prior to going into school, because you want to have a clear head when you're there. Or people who want to obtain a lifestyle, or people who just want to learn how to trade to do better for themselves and their family. Don't do it when you got a $500,000 career on the line and you can make so much money. You can do it. You can learn the skill set after. But if you're going to go in there and you don't got no money and you're trying to make money to pay your rent, pay your bills and all that, this is not it, bro. This is not what you need to do. And I'm telling you that from 11 years of experience in the game, that's my advice when it comes to strategies. You can use these indicators. I could rip these indicators off and still be able to identify everything that's happening on this chart. I could tell you support. They bought. It had a resistance here. It was trading between the channel 47.98, 52.99. It broke out, ended up retesting the high here and then bouncing. The trend was down, all the way from here. 71.74. The trend was down to 47.50. It's now recovering and trying to make a way up north. Now the trend is now upwards. I can remove all these signals and identify this. I don't need the VWAP. I don't need the 89. They make it easier for me, but I can identify that this is a cup and handle pattern. I can identify the trends. And what I trade is cup and handle patterns, but every trader I know trades very different from me. Zach Morris trades different, King trades different, Tia trades different, Nathan McCall trades different, Minnie trades different, Sykes trades different, Tim Grittani trades different. Every successful trader that I know trades different. Every successful trader in this game has lost money. It's just like I say, every new grad ICU nurse has made a mistake. Every surgeon will probably have one bad case in their lifetime where things went wrong. What I'm saying is this is not the all and be all. Like, this is why people have businesses behind this shit. This is why you see traders have courses. This is why you see even Zach Morris has a course. Sam Paraka has a course. Timothy Sykes has an education business. Everybody has a business behind it because they understand the pressure of trying to perform and come out here every day and to try to be great. That is a hard thing to do. It is possible. People have done it, but the pressure of trying to outperform last year's P&L can weigh on you, especially if you have one bad year. You got to literally dig yourself out of a mental rut, and you're going to go through that, right? You're going to be trading. You're going to feel like everything is going wrong, and you're going to try to revenge trade. You might try to make it back. You might try to do things like that. And this is why I want to show perspective too, right? Because we talk about everything that's good here, but we also got to show the other side of the coin that no one really talks about, right? We all show the gains, we all show the profits, but what's really happening on the other side of the game? Now, there's this trader that posted something that was really interesting to me, right? And I had to respond to it, because I felt he was right. I said, and this is what he said. He said, relying on trading to pay your rent rarely goes well. Even the most profitable of traders, eventually they go on a tilt or hit drawdowns, which means no income coming in. Make your living elsewhere. Trading should be just for building your wealth, funding investments, and becoming financially free. Depending on it to pay for your living expenses is not it. From my experience, this is what a loser would say, right? So I partially agree to what he's saying. But what I will say is that he is truly right in the other side of it as well. You can live and pay your rent off of it. But the issue is the main point that he's saying is that you're gonna have a drawdown period. You're gonna have a year where all your strategy you was implementing didn't work. Then you're gonna try to recreate a new strategy. But really, sometimes it's just you need to step away from the market. You need to know when to get off the computer, close it up, and walk away. Because it could get. Remember, you're dealing with. It's a mental game. That's why it's really meant for specific types of personalities, which is what the guy said in the beginning of the video. You might have type A personalities who come out here. Some people can't do this. It's just like some people can't work in the ICU. It's too scary. It's too much going on. It's a type of personality that you have. So, Alexander comes in, he says, I don't agree with your statement. First, from a financial perspective, money is money. There's no fundamental difference in whether you spend your earnings on rent, food, or investments. Trading income is the same as income from a business or a salary. Second, trading as a field inherently allows for virtually unlimited growth, fact, and scalability, fact, to an extent. If a trader reaches an income level that far exceeds expenses, for example, $6K with $2K rent, then living off of trading is completely rational, is not a hobby. The idea that trading builds financial freedom applies to more investing, where you can suddenly scale up for cash flow. For beginner traders, it is indeed important, okay, he's saying the truth, to have financial cushion and not depend on early payouts early on. But at a certain level of development, your statement becomes false, which is why I said it's partially true and partially false. You could live off of trading, you could, but there's also a part where you want to have a financial cushion. And I think even the most successful traders would agree to that, because if they didn't, there would be no reason somebody like Zach Morris, I think I blocked Zach just because he was just posting a lot of fucking shit that was just really annoying. There's no reason Zach Money would have FU Money Club, right? FU Money Club, $100 membership, right? There's no reason Sam Parakai would have Smarter Trading 411, right? If it was really like, yeah man, we could just live off this and just do this for the rest of our life. I'm not saying that they could, but no successful trader, if you've been in the game long enough, wants to literally be trading and having the pressure of performance. It's like Nathan McCard, Investors Live. There's no reason he would have Investors Live for as long as he had it if trading was everything, right? If it was the only, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no reason Timothy Sykes, right? There's no reason Sykes would have his own thing, right? Would have his own course and have his own pricing. I'm telling you that these traders can really trade. I'm saying that these are multi-million-dollar traders that I'm showing you. I'm telling you that they are. Even fucking I don't even know if Warrior Trader is on here. If Ross Cameron is on here. Even Ross Cameron. Is Ross Cameron on here? I don't think he's on here. But even, let me pull up Ross right quick. Ross Cameron, Warrior Trader. Ross legit is a multi-millionaire, bro. Like, Ross doesn't need your money. He doesn't. But the thing that Ross understands is the same thing that we all understand once you've been in the game long enough to understand it, is that when you get so good, you're better off going into education and building a brand or a business around this. Because to do this for 30 years, you could do it and make money, you could, but the pressure of outperforming your best PL year, especially when you have this hustle go getter mentality, it's endless. Like, you made 500 this year, you want to make $1 million, you made $1 million, you want to make 3 million, you made 3 million, you want to make 7 million, 7 million, you want to make 9 million, 9 million, you want to make 11 million. But in this game, it's a little different because there's a lot of risks. So I'm not saying that you couldn't get upwards of there. I'm just saying that when it comes to strategy is always changing. It's always changing. And that's what makes it challenging. That's why I don't like the word strategy. We use indicators. There's strategy, like we trade momentum stocks, we trade breakout stocks, we trade. The biggest thing that can help any trader is time in the market, sitting in the market, learning the screen, watching the market, understanding the different types of markets, know when to leave, know when to walk away, know when your strategy doesn't work no more, know when to try. It's not even try something, but you might have to reinvent yourself sometimes. Because there's times where it doesn't work. And I don't want to make this video too long, but that's just some of it. And I just wanted to show you why I don't like the word strategy, or anyone who's interested in learning how to trade. You need to develop yourself and your skill set, and you need to learn how to be adaptable. Just like in ICU, you get different patients. Some have different comorbidities, different things. Every patient is different. Yeah, you can have the same car accident patient with the same injury, but this guy got high blood pressure. This guy is chronic diabetic. This guy is schizophrenic. The treatment is going to be patient-centered all the time. So it's always going to be different. But good luck to all.